Email network and servers. In this video, we are going to see about email network and servers. There are email networks that are general to all and for all who share an interest in subtopics such as professional development. The networking email groups provide a forum for communication and discussion among people with shared interests. A mail server is the computerized equivalent of friendly neighborhood mailman. Every email that is sent passes through a series of mail servers along its way to its intended recipient. Although it may seem like a message is sent instantly, zipping from one PC to another in the blink of an eye, the reality is that a complex series of transfers takes place. Without this series of mail servers, only be able to send emails to people whose email address domains matched own. That is, you could only send messages from one example.com account to another example.com account. Mail servers can be broken into two main categories: outgoing mail servers and incoming mail servers. Outgoing mail servers are known as SMTP or Simple Mail Transfer Protocol servers. Incoming mail servers come in two main varieties: POP3 or Post Office Protocol version 3. Servers are best known for storing sent and received messages on PC's local hard drives. IMAP or Internet Message Access Protocol servers always store copies of messages on servers. SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. Now we are going to see about SMTP, that is Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. Email Protocol. Email protocols are the languages and rules that email servers and clients use to communicate with each other and manage incoming and outgoing mail. These protocols are strictly defined and are in use in a variety of different email clients. In addition, each email protocol has a unique way of managing email that is sent and received from an email account. SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. It is a set of communication guidelines that allows software to transmit email over the internet. Most email software is designed to use SMTP for communication purposes when sending email, and it only works for outgoing messages. When people set up their email programs, they will typically have to give the address of their internet service provider's SMTP server for outgoing mail. There are two other protocols, POP3 and IMAP, that are used for retrieving and storing email. SMTP provides a set of codes that simplify the communication of email messages between servers. It's a kind of shorthand that allows a server to break up different parts of a message into categories the other server can understand. Any email message has a sender, a recipient, or sometimes multiple recipients, a message body, and usually a title heading. From the perspective of users, when they write an email message, they see the slick interface of their email software, but once that message goes out on the internet, everything is turned into strings of text. This text is separated by code words or numbers that identify the purpose of each section. The other purposes of SMTP is to set up communication rules between servers. For example, servers have a way of identifying themselves and announcing what kind of communication they are trying to perform. There are also ways to handle errors, including common things like incorrect email addresses. SMTP was created in the early 1980s and it was built around basic concepts of server communication that go back to the 1970s. In those days, the internet was a very closed community, mostly consisting of scientists and government institutions. The greatest strengths of SMTP are reliability and simplicity. It is easy to set up software that uses the SMTP communication rules and it gets the job done. Messages either get to a recipient or there is an error message that explains why that was not possible. Nowadays, most servers or slightly updated version of the SMTP protocol called ESMTP, that is Extended Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. This was created to allow transmission of multimedia through email. When someone sends a picture or music file through their email program, ESMTP communication codes are used to identify the kind of data being transferred. Post Office Protocol 3, that is POP3. In this video, we are going to see about Post Office Protocol 3, that is POP3. POP3, Post Office Protocol 3, is the most recent version of a standard protocol for receiving email. POP3 is a client-server protocol in which email is received and held for you by your internet server. POP3 is designed to delete mail on the server as soon as the user has downloaded it. However, some implementations allow users or an administrator to specify that mail be saved for some period of time. POP3 functionality. POP3 has become increasingly sophisticated so that some administrators can configure the protocol to store email on the server for a certain period of time, which would allow an individual to download it as many times as they wished within that given time frame. While mail servers can use alternate protocol retrieval programs such as IMAP, POP3 is extremely common among most mail servers because of its simplicity and high rate of success. Although the newer version of POP offers more features at its basic level, POP3 is preferred because it does the job within a minimum of errors. POP3 is a basic method of storing and retrieving mail. It can work with virtually any email program as long as the email program is configured to host the protocol. Many popular email programs including Eudora and Microsoft Outlook are automatically designed to work with POP3. Each POP3 mail server has a different address which is usually provided to an individual by their web hosting company. Internet Message Access Protocol 4, that is IMAP 4. In this video, we are going to see about Internet Message Access Protocol 4, IMAP 4. Internet Message Access Protocol is a protocol for retrieving email messages which can be used as an alternative to the POP3. The latest version, IMAP 4, is similar to POP3 but supports some additional features. For example, with IMAP 4, one can search through the email messages for keywords while the messages are still on mail server. The major difference between IMAP 4 and POP3 is that with POP3, the messages are only stored temporarily on the mail server until they are downloaded to the email client where the messages are stored, manipulated, searched, etc. With IMAP 4, the messages are stored permanently on the server and they are manipulated, searched, etc. on the mail server. IMAP 4 also makes it possible to have shared message folders because multiple people can access the same IMAP 4 account at the same time and read messages at the same time as other people. IMAP is becoming more and more popular. The proliferation of smartphones, laptops, tablets and other devices is making the demand for IMAP stronger than ever. While POP will remain popular with people who only access their mail via one or two devices and those who have slow connections to the internet, IMAP is sure to remain the protocol of choice for most of today's busy people. Multi-Purpose Internet Mail Extension MIME. In this video, we are going to see about Multi-Purpose Internet Mail Extension MIME. MIME is a supplementary protocol that allows non-ASCII data to be sent through SMTP. MIME is defined by IETF to allow transmission of non-ASCII data via email. MIME allows arbitrary data to be encoded in ASCII for normal transmission. All media types that are sent or received on the World Wide Web, that is www, are encoded using different MIME types. Messages sent using MIME encoding includes information that describes the type of data and the encoding that are used. MIME defines 5 headers: MIME version, content type, content transfer encoding, content ID, content description. Mail message header from domain1@email.com to domain2@example.edu. MIME version 1.0, content type image or JPG, content transfer encoding base65, data for the message. Servers insert the MIME header at the beginning of any web transmission. Clients use their header to select an appropriate player application for the type of data the header indicates. Some of these players are built into the web client or browser. For example, all browsers come with GIF and JPEG image players, as well as the ability to handle HTML files. Other players may need to be downloaded. Email address. In this video, we are going to see about email address. Email address. An email address is same as any postal address. Email address identifies an email box to which email messages are to be delivered. An email address is composed of several elements, for example, rock@example.com. In every email addresses, the @ character is at center, and to the right is the domain name, that is example.com. Domain name. A domain name is a unique name that identifies a website, and it serves as an address which is used to access the website. Domain names provide an easy way to remember internet address, which is translated into its numeric address IP address by the domain name system DNS. Domain name is divided into 3 parts: host name, subdomain, second level domain, top level domain. Top level domains are .gov, government agencies, .com, commercial business, .edu, educational institutes, .net, organizations that are non-profit, .int, .int, international organizations like UNO, WHO, etc. .in, India. Username. To the left of the @ character is the username. The username designates who at a domain is the owner of the email address, for example, rock. Email header. In this video, we are going to see about email header. The header, a set of lines containing information about the message's transportation, such as the sender's address, the recipient's address, or timestamps showing when the message was sent by intermediary servers to the transport agents, MTAs, which acts as mail sorting office. In an email, the body, that is content text, is always preceded by header lines that identify particular routing information of the message, including the sender, recipient, date, and subject. Some headers are mandatory, such as the from, to, and date headers. Others are optional but very commonly used, such as subject and CC. Other headers include the sending timestamps and the receiving timestamps of all mail transfer agents that have received and sent the message. In other words, any time a message is transferred from one user to another, that is, when it is sent or forwarded, the message is date time-stamped by a mail transfer agent (MTA), a computer program or software agent that facilitates the transfer of email message from one computer to another. This date timestamp, like from, to, and subject, becomes one of the many headers that precede the body of an email. Header characteristics. A single email header has some important characteristics, including perhaps the most important part of an email. This is the key value pairs contained in the header. Here is a breakdown of the most commonly used and viewed headers and their values. From, sender's name and email address. To, recipient's name and email address. Date, sent date, time of the email. Subject, whatever text the sender entered in the subject heading before sending. Message body and attachments. Now we are going to see about message body and attachments. Message body. The message body contains the message separated from the header by a line break, used to enter the text, images, or attachments to recipients. Attachments. An email attachment is a file that is attached to an email message. For example, attachments like a graphic, a spreadsheet, or a word processing document can be attached to the mail message. Sending attachments can be a good way to transfer a copy of a file if the sender and recipient have agreed on a format. Tips for sending attachments. There are many types of attachments that can be sent via email. Not all email systems handle attachments in the same way. If user is not sure what types of file a recipient can view, it's a good idea to use one of the following file types to send your attachment. Plain text, RTF, PDF. Size of the attachment. Plain text. Save file without formatting options such as bold and underline. All word processors and text editors should be able to read a plain text document. RTF. Rich text format is a document format that is readable by most word processors. The RTF file is a plain text file representation of a formatted document. RTF includes codes that the recipient's word processor uses to recreate the formatted document. PDF. Portable document format is a file format that preserves all of the fonts, formatting, colors, and graphics of a document. Size of the attachment. Limited to email, Gmail can attach up to 25 MB or it can be updated to Google Drive. When user sends an attachment, that the recipient may have a restriction or limit to the size of the attachment they receive. If needed to send the same document multiple times, rename the file attachment name each time. Multiple versions of the same document can become confusing, and occasionally user might send different version of the document than what user had expected. A better way to manage multiple iterations of the same document is to rename the file name each time by adding a revision date and/or time to the file name. Each document name will be unique and it is easy to tell the most recent version by name. Then the older versions can be deleted. Common document type and attachment. Microsoft Word, .doc or .docs. Microsoft Excel, .xls or .xlsx. Microsoft PowerPoint .ppt or .pps, WordPerfect .wp, text only .txt, rich text format .rdf, portable document format .pdf, GIF graphics .gif, JPEG graphics .jpg, HTML files .htm or .html, self-extracting archive .sea, executable files for Windows .exe, only open if you know what it is. Visual Basic Script .vbs, only open if you know what it is. Email client. In this video, we are going to see about email client. Email client is a desktop application that enables configuring one or more email addresses to receive, read, compose, and send emails from that email address through the desktop interface. It provides a central interface for receiving, composing, and sending emails of configured email addresses. Full-featured email clients are also available as a part of the web browser suites that Netscape Communicator and Microsoft Internet Explorer. When choosing an email package, keep the following. Is the email client's interface user-friendly? Does the email package have an electronic phone book where you can keep a list of an important email address? Does the email package have an ability to encode and decode the files attached to an email message? Does an email package have a spelling checker? On a predefined time or when invoked manually by user, the email client fetches new emails from the email service provider's hosted and managed mailbox. These emails are delivered using the mail transfer agent (MTA) of an email service provider. Similarly, when sending emails, the email client uses mail submission agent (MSA) to deliver messages to the email server and further to the destination email address. Moreover, email client can be used to configure multiple email addresses from different email service providers. Microsoft Outlook, Mozilla Thunderbird, and IBM Lotus Notes are popular examples of email clients. Netscape Mail Clients. Now we are going to see about Netscape Mail Clients. Netscape Messenger is the email client packaged with Netscape Communicator. Netscape Communicator was an internet suite produced by Netscape Communications Corporation, initially released in June 1997. It is a POP3 client, which means that unlike webmail, it does not maintain a constant connection to the mail server. This means that Netscape users must manually click the send or receive button or configure Netscape to check mail automatically at a specific interval. Messages retrieved with Netscape or POP3 clients are removed from the server and are no longer available through webmail or other computers unless they are explicitly configured to leave messages on the server. Configuring Netscape email accounts. Step 1. In the Netscape Mail window, click on the Edit menu and then click on Mail and Newsgroup account settings. Step 2. Next, click on the New Account button on the lower left side of the Account Settings window. Step 3. The account wizard will now start. In the first window that appears, select ISP or email provider and then click on the Next button. Step 4. In the following window, enter your full name in the Your Name text box. Then enter your email address in the Email Address text box. Click on the Next button to continue. Step 5. In the following window, select to use either the POP or IMAP protocols. It recommends using IMAP by default. Click the Next button to continue. Step 6. Now enter your username in the username text box. Click the Next button to continue. Step 7. Next, enter a name to describe this account. Click the Next button to continue. Step 8. Finally, ensure that all the information you have entered is correct and click the Finish button to exit the wizard. Checking for new message. To retrieve new messages, click the Get Message icon on the toolbar. If you did not set the Remember Password option, you will be prompted to type your password and click the OK button. A new email message will now be transferred from the mail server to inbox. Reading new messages. Highlight the inbox by clicking on the word inbox in the folder's frame. This will bring up a list of inbox messages in the message index frame. To view a specific message, click on the message header. The message will now be displayed in the message frame. To view messages in a separate window, double-click the email header. Sending a new message. To send a new message, click the New Message button on the toolbar. This will bring up the composition window. Type the address of the recipient in the To field. Type the subject in the Subject field and the message in the area below the subject line. Replying to a message. To reply to any given message, view it and click on the Reply button on the toolbar. A composition window will open, including the text of the original message. The email address of the recipient will already be filled in as with the subject line. When the composing is completed, click the Send button. Forwarding messages. To forward a message, view it and click the Forward button on the toolbar. A composition window will appear. The original message will be included at the bottom of the forwarded email. User must enter the recipient's email address in the field, but the subject field will automatically be filled in. Enter a message in the message field or simply just send the forwarded message as it is. Click the Send button on the toolbar to forward the message. Deleting messages. View the message you want to delete and click on the Delete button on the toolbar. This will move the selected message to the trash folder. For POP users, by default, deleted messages remain in the trash folder until you empty it. We can empty it by clicking File on the File menu, then selecting Empty Trash. For IMAP users, there are several ways to handle deleting messages. These can be set by click on the Edit menu and then Mail and News Group Account Settings and then clicking on Server Settings. Choose the option for deleting messages in the When I Delete a Message drop-down menu. Outlook Express. Now let us see the process of Outlook Express. Microsoft Outlook is an email client and personal information manager, that is PIM, that is available as a part of Microsoft Office Suite or as a standalone application. The Outlook is mostly used for sending, receiving, and storing emails. It is called a personal information management tool because it also includes calendar, contacts, tasks, notes, and also journal. It is also used to share your calendar with your family, friends, and colleagues. Microsoft Outlook helps to organize all the stuff in one place. The Outlook is designed to access multiple email accounts and show all the mails in one place. It can also store email messages locally, so there won't be a need to access the internet every time you need to check through your mails. This feature is useful in companies where multiple users work together and can schedule projects without overlapping other events or appointments. The combination of all these features together and the interaction between them makes the Microsoft Outlook powerful. To set up email account in Microsoft Outlook, from the Email Accounts menu, select Tools. On the Email Accounts wizard window, select Add a new email account and then click Next. For your server type, select POP3 or IMAP and then click Next. On the Internet Email Settings, that is POP3 or IMAP window, enter your information as follows: username, your first name and last name; email address, your email address; username, your email address again; password, your email account password; incoming mail server, that is POP3, pop.secureserver.net or imap.secureserver.net; outgoing mail server, SMTP out.secureserver.net. On the Internet Email Settings window, go to the Outgoing Server tab. Select User Outgoing Server, that is SMTP requires authentication. If you did not change the SMTP relay section, select Use Same Settings as my incoming mail server. If you changed the username and password in the SMTP relay section of your Manage Email Accounts page, select Log On Using and enter the username and password. The following example assumes you did not change your SMTP relay section in your Manage Email Accounts page. Go to the Advanced tab and then change the outgoing server, that is SMTP port to 80 or 3535. Click OK. Click Next. Click Finish. Creating a new mail. On the Home tab in the New group, click New Email. Keyboard shortcut to create an email message, press Ctrl+Shift+M. In the subject box, type the subject of the message. Enter the recipient's email addresses or names in the to CC or BCC box. Separate multiple recipients with a semicolon. To select recipient's name from a list in the address book, click to CC or BCC and then click the names that you want. After composed the message, click Send. Creating and adding signature. In Outlook web app, click Settings, points to Options. In Options, click Settings, points to Mail. Under Email Signature in the text box, type the signature you want to use. Use the formatting bar to format the font as you want it to appear. If the user wants signature to display at the bottom of all outgoing items, including replies and forwards, select Automatically Include My Signature on Messages. If the option is not selected, signature can be added to the mail manually. Then click Save. Web-based email. In this video, we are going to see about web-based email. Email addresses are commonly assigned by your Internet Service Provider ISP, but one can also obtain an email address through a website service. This is known as web-based email. Most people are familiar with setting up their email clients to receive mail through their ISP. The client asks for a POP server, that is Post Office Protocol, in order to receive mail, and a SMTP server, that is Standard Mail Transfer Protocol, in order to send mail. However, most email clients can also be used to collect web-based email by configuring the client to connect to an IMAP server, that is Internet Message Access Protocol. The IMAP server is a part of the host package. Web-based email has its advantages, especially for people who travel. Email can be collected by simply visiting a website, negating the need for an email client or to log on from home. Some examples of webmail are Yahoo Mail, Gmail, Hotmail. There are also some drawbacks to web-based email, however. Security and privacy are the biggest issues. Most sites will explicitly state in the privacy policy that no expectation of privacy shall exist, even if it is stated in other sections of the policy that a goal of the site is to protect privacy. Security of the server is also less certain compared to an ISP, to which pay a fee with a contractual promise to provide basic protections. Email encryption. Now we are going to see about email encryption. Email encryption refers to an encryption and authentication mechanism of an email message to prevent the contents from being read by an unauthorized recipient. Email encryption methodology largely depends on public key cryptography, wherein users publish a public key that can be used by others to encrypt messages. All this while keeping a secret private key to decrypt messages or to sign and digitally encrypt messages they send. Following are some commonly used email encryption protocols. PGP, S/MIME, Identity-Based Encryption, Mail Session Encryption, TLS. Address book. In this video, we are going to see about address book. An address book is a database that stores names, addresses, and other contact information for a computer user. The address book is a collection of address lists. Address book is used to look up and select names, email addresses, and distribution lists. When a name is typed in the to or CC box of an email message, Microsoft Outlook automatically checks to see if the name typed matches the name present in the address book. If match is found, the result displayed name and email address are filled in, and it allows user to send the message. If there is no match found, the names dialog box prompts user to create a contact by clicking New Contact. If more than one name contains the letters typed, an option is shown to the desired name from the list. Signature file. In this video, we are going to see about signature file. An email signature is a block of text that is appended to the end of an email message sent. Generally, a signature is used to provide the recipient with a name, email address, business contact information, or website URL. Some people, however, will use a signature to sign off their email message with a closing statement, funny quote, or other message. A signature file, or SIG as it is often called, can easily be created in most email clients. There is an option always attach the signature to all outgoing emails or add the signature in specific outgoing emails.